If my stepdad pushed me at the Christmas table. His voice was cold as he said, "This seat is for my real daughter. Get out." I got up, my eyes stinging with tears, and walked away from the family I thought was mine. Little did he know, he'd just pushed me towards a truth that would shatter his world. My name is Maya, and for most of my life, I believed I had a family. After my dad passed away when I was little, my mum, Clara, married a man named Robert. He had a daughter, Lily, who was a year older than me. At first, Robert was kind, a father figure I desperately wanted. But as the years went by, his affection cooled. He'd buy Lily expensive gifts, while I got hand-me-downs. He'd praise her for getting a B on a test, but my straight A's were met with a shrug. It hurt, but I thought if I just tried harder, he'd see me as his daughter too. That Christmas was supposed to be different. I had just turned 18. I'd spent my savings on a thoughtful gift for Robert, a rare book about his favorite historical period. I thought this was the year he'd finally accept me. The dinner table was beautifully set. Everyone was laughing. I sat down in my usual spot, next to my mum. That's when Robert walked in with Lily. His eyes landed on me, and his face hardened. "What are you doing there, Maya?" he asked. Before I could answer, he grabbed my chair. "This seat is for my real daughter. Get out." The entire table went silent. My mum just looked down at her plate, her silence a betrayal that cut deeper than Robert's words. I saw a smirk on Lily's face. I got up, left my gift under the tree, and walked out without a word. I spent that Christmas alone in my room, listening to their laughter downstairs. That night, something inside me broke. But something else was born, a determination to build a life where I would never be second best again. I threw myself into my studies, earning a full scholarship to a prestigious university. I moved out the day after graduation, renting a tiny apartment and working 2 jobs to make ends meet. I rarely spoke to my mum and never to Robert or Lily. The silence was a balm to my wounded heart. During this time, I started digging into my past, trying to understand the father I barely knew. My mum had always been vague, saying he was a simple man with no family to speak of. I went to the attic one day while they were out, searching for any old documents. Tucked away in a dusty box, I found my dad's old briefcase. Inside was a leather-bound journal and a stack of letters. My dad, it turned out, was anything but simple. He was the only son of a wealthy and reclusive entrepreneur. His journal was filled with love for my mom, but also with his fears. He wrote about his estranged father, my grandfather, a man who disapproved of his marriage to my mum. The letters were from my grandfather, pleading for my dad to come home, to let him meet his granddaughter. My father had been planning to reconcile with him right before the accident that took his life. My grandfather had no idea I existed. And the biggest shock of all, according to the legal documents, in that briefcase, my father had left me a substantial trust fund, one that I would inherit on my 25th birthday. My mom and Robert knew about it. They had been living off the interest for years, all while treating me like a charity case. The betrayal was staggering. It wasn't just that Robert didn't love me. They had actively stolen from me. I didn't confront them. Not yet. Revenge, I decided, is a dish best served cold. I found a lawyer, the best one I could afford, and she confirmed everything. The trust was mine, and my mother and Robert had illegally accessed it. I also hired a private investigator to find my grandfather. It didn't take long. He was living just a few hours away, a lonely old man in a massive estate, still mourning the son he'd lost. I wrote him a letter, enclosing a photo of my father and me. I told him everything. A week later, a car, far grander than anything Robert could ever dream of, pulled up outside my small apartment. My grandfather, frail but with my father's kind eyes, stepped out. When he saw me, he wept. We spent hours talking, filling in the years of silence. He told me stories about my dad, and I saw a part of my father I never knew. He was heartbroken to learn how I'd been treated. He welcomed me with open arms, not as a replacement for his son, but as his legacy. My 25th birthday arrived. As expected, there was no call from my mother or Robert. But I didn't care. I spent the day with my grandfather, feeling true family warmth for the first time. The next day, my lawyer sent the official notice. My mother and Robert were summoned to a legal meeting. I decided to be there. When they walked in and saw me sitting next to my grandfather and a team of lawyers, their faces turned white. Robert started to bluster. "What is this? What is she doing here?" My lawyer calmly laid out the facts. The misuse of my trust fund. The years of financial fraud. They were not only cut off, but they would have to pay back every single cent they had spent. House, their cars, their entire lifestyle was built on money stolen from me. Robert looked at my mum, his face contorted with rage. "You told me it was our money," he screamed. My mum just sobbed, unable to look at me. Lily, who had come with them, looked utterly lost. Their perfect world was crumbling. I stood up. I looked Robert right in the eye. "You once told me to get out," I said, my voice steady. "Sid, I didn't belong. You were right. I don't belong with thieves and liars. But this money, this legacy, it belongs to me. And now, you will have nothing." My grandfather put a comforting hand on my shoulder. We turned and walked out, leaving them to face the consequences of their greed. I didn't look back. My revenge wasn't just about taking back my money, too. It was about reclaiming my worth, my identity, and my family. I found my real family, not in the house I grew up in, but in the love of a grandfather I never knew I had. And as for Robert and Lily, they lost everything. He learned the hard way that a real family is built on love and respect, not on money or blood. Some seats at the table you have to earn.